do this. And here I'm drawing like knight armor. Been doing some studies. Should be more like rounded. I don't like this part. But in any case, so I want to get more used to just drawing with a pen and not worry so much about like a pencil, because in my last video I was talking about how I just want to like live with mistakes and kind of visualize and take my time. I wonder if this should be like, yeah. So it's kind of helped me to slow down. Again, in my last video, I was saying how like it's something that I'm still kind of getting used to, because I'm so used to hurrying and rushing through like a drawing, and it's made me like more anxious, you know. So now if I'm kind of just taking my time a little bit, it's helped a lot just to not stress out so much. So what is this part supposed to look like? Is this supposed to be like this? I don't remember. Anyways, so I recommend it, like just using a normal ass like ink brush or like a pen. It's gonna help me relax. It's like the opposite of like using a pencil, because when you're using a pencil you tend to do a lot of drawings. Like you're gonna do like a few sketches, and it ends up becoming like, what's the word? You end up like noodling and being indecisive because you're not sure about exactly the type of drawing you want to make. So you end up noodling around instead of sticking with a decision. So I'm trying to get used to kind of just going with the flow of things. And it's very freeing. Oh, I gotta get this ink out the way. Yeah. And yeah, it's for people who's starting off to draw, like if you've never really drawn before, maybe, art is something that you've always wanted to do. It's, I get it. It's intimidating, but you have to start somewhere. My advice is to just start somewhere and just draw like anything. Like you have to. So like I'm here, I'm trying to like visualize something. You have to start drawing anything that comes to mind, or not even just mind, just begin drawing something. Just take a look at something in your table and yeah, like draw. And I know with like the whole advent of AI, it's like, what's the point when people look at AI and they're like, wow, this looks so good. It's like, yeah, I mean, let them. But at the end of it, you kind of have to do this for yourself, See if I can try to remember. You kind of have to, like, stick with something because it's meaningful for you. You don't, I mean, sure, you want to be praised by what you're doing, but at the end of it, it's about, like, does it feel good for you? If it doesn't, then you shouldn't do it. Damn, the same thing. This part is, I don't know what the hell I'm drawing here. Whatever. Anyways. Yeah, I saw some designs online and I was studying them, and now I'm like, okay, how do I actually remember what it is without like looking? I saw this artist and I was studying the way he does like knight armor and stuff, and I just love the shapes of it all. Maybe what would this be? Be something. Maybe it's like I'm just gonna do whatever. See, normally, like, sketching, I would always try to do things in inks, in pencils. But I end up not being very decisive with what I'm doing, and I end up, like, noodling. So again, like, this kind of frees me to do whatever. Now we're running out. no way. Anyways, so another one. So, gotta figure this part out. But anyways, let's do this. One thing I want to rant about is the season finale of Stranger Things. And in case you're wondering, I really, really enjoyed it. In fact, I really liked that ending despite its terrible writing. I'm willing to admit that. Yeah, it was a mess of a show. But I just want to say, like, one thing that was interesting was the conversation has become on two separate sides. You have one side that wants consistency, logic, and continuity, and then the other side is okay, and it's more about meaning. And there's this whole like debate online right now about the ending. So like people who really liked it, like me, are people who are more about the meaning behind things more than like the logic. Hold on, this part is weird. Whatever. Yeah, more than like logic, right? Versus the other side of the argument. The other side of the argument is like you don't have like people who saw it and was like, this is like just utter garbage. and I think they bring up some really valid points about the show and its fall off. It's like darker themes. It's not scary anymore. It's the way I describe Stranger Things. It feels like I'm like watching someone's wattpad novel, if that makes any sense. Like someone's fan fiction. It feels like that. Like if you play Kingdom Hearts, you know exactly what I mean. It's like if this was good writing, you know, you would have a lot more character deaths. You would have more logic to its scenes. But you get what you get, right? Wanna should I? I'm like thinking right now. This is a design I saw online of like a skull knight. Well, anyways, so this Stranger Things is what happens. Like, wait, before I go into anything like that, this is exactly what happened back when like Mass Effect and Metal Gear Solid also had their conclusion. Mass Effect 3 had something similar. I remember it had something similar to like conformity gate. So if you guys don't know what conformity gate is, in Stranger Things, the fans were kind of theorizing that the finale wasn't really the finale, and that the creators of the show were concocting like the ultimate ruse of a finale. Like, sorry guys, all that stuff that you watched, it was not real. It was all a dream. It's not real. And this part I should think this through more. But anyways, and oh wait, actually, this should be more like this. Sorry, again, it's hard to like draw. I think this drawing would be 1,000 times better if I wasn't talking, but whatever. Whatever. So, yeah, basically the fan base was like, that can't be the ending. It's all a ruse. That's how bad that ending was. You had a lot of plot holes. You had a lot of conveniences. It was very, I guess for a lot of people, it wasn't satisfying. I'm okay with it. I really like the meaning behind the ending, and I could still admit that the ending had some like major problems. But yeah, so anyways, conformity gate, everybody was coming up with conspiracies as to what was going on, and that the final ending is coming out at a particular time on a particular date. And if you look at all the hints throughout the show, it's literally like copium. It's like everything's such a stretch. Like, oh, you think that it's a coincidence that 11 woke up at 6 and Vecna woke up at 6 p.m. and so therefore 6 p.m. is when it's gonna drop. It's like shit like that, right? So, oh man, what a mess. This is what happens when you like kind of rush and you kind of write yourself into a hole. This is what happens, exactly what happens. And it's unfortunate. Like, people will come up with their own theories as to what that ending is, and more often than not, honestly, like, the theories that people come up with is often better than what the showrunners had. Just another one. Getting a little bit of hang of this, I think. Let's see. See this? I'm doing this right. So, yeah, Metal Gear Solid had something similar. I remember that if you guys don't know, Metal Gear Solid is a video game, and the ending felt so incomplete. Now, that ending I did not like. I was fine with the premise. I'm gonna spoil it. You are essentially playing not as the main character that everybody thought that he was playing as. That's fine with me. I don't mind that at all. It's just the way the ending concluded was just, it felt so empty. Not in a poetic sense, but more in a way that like, it just felt like an unfinished game. And the plot was not very good. If that makes sense. So like the plot wasn't very good. It had a lot of loose ends. Overall, it just wasn't a good time. When it was good, but then you could feel like they ran out of budget towards the end of the game, and you're like, what the hell happened? Anyways. So people thought, well, they're coming out with the real ending in January. It was the same thing. It was the exact same thing, the same situation that Stranger Things was going through, and I even thought the same thing. I was like, oh yeah, this makes sense. It makes sense that Kojima and his team, they didn't have like proper, they're doing some ruse for Konami, and they're going to release the final ending with all this crazy chapter and story sequences, and comes out in a couple of months, and if you look between the lines, that's what they're going to do. And you're just like, okay, maybe, right? Maybe that is what's going to happen. But turns out, and there was even a countdown too. They had a whole countdown. They had all this stuff. And the person who made that website was trolling. He like rickrolled everybody. And I think he said, go get a life at the end. It was something like to that degree. I remember, I think. It was pretty stupid. I mean, not the guy who did that, but just us, just people, like not being satisfied and thinking like Hideo Kojima is some like writing genius. So, anyways, then Mass Effect had something similar, and that it turned out that was like some bullshit too. That was some like uber bullshit. People were like, you see how Commander Shepard has schizophrenia because he keeps looking side to side in some of the cutscenes? That means that what happened at the end wasn't real. And at the time, you're like, oh yeah, because you're hoping, right? Like you're just like hoping for anything. And then you realize, you're like, what? As you get older, you're like, what the hell was I smoking? Like, you know? This is really hard. Sorry, it's really hard to like talk and like draw. And see if I could. Well, anyways. Okay, it's feeling a little better now that I'm kind of just focusing. Oh, that's what was missing. I was missing his fucking visor. Yeah, well, copium, y'all. Conformity gate. Remember when you guys are writing a story, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was like budgeting or they wrote themselves into a wall, but if you wanted to know if Stranger Things Season 5 is worth watching, I'd say this. If you liked the previous seasons, despite its flaws, you know, like despite all that, and you kind of enjoyed it, you should definitely watch the season finale. I liked it a lot. If you didn't, if you were already tapped out of Stranger Things from whenever, you're just like, okay, after season 1, you're like, yeah, this is kind of stupid. It only gets worse. It's not going to get better for you. So make that as you will, you know. Okay, let's see what else we got here. What about this? Can I make this into armor? I don't know. Anyways, that is my rant for half an hour. Thank you guys for watching. I would like to do better art, but I'm trying to get used to talking and just using inks and just going with it, no sketching, just doing what I do. Thank you guys for sticking around. I appreciate y'all. Bye-bye. Wow!